We made it in. Yesterday was a flop. I'm sorry. But it happens. That's life, right? You gotta adjust with the changes. We gotta adapt. Welcome in though, friends. Kimmers was first today, and guys, I'm so proud of Kimmers. She made 2 things that we made last weekend on stream. The tuna noodle casserole, as well as the berry crisp. So Kimmers, I hope you enjoy everything. Eric, you snuck in there. I didn't even see you sneak in there. Welcome in, dude. Trekkert and Mish. We're having good chats already. Harry didn't have his crisp yet, but it's very tasty. Nice, so you had some for lunch. I love that. Hello, Michael, welcome. Thank you for being here. And Katniss. Yeah, welcome back to Stream Life, right? We're back. I received my punishment. The bull shark. Ah! That's what I imagined it would feel like. Probably even more hurtful than that, let's be honest. Okay, so going off of this conversation still. Luckily, your partner's brother lives there and he likes some of the same things you do. See, there you go. You just gotta find people that can share foods with you still. Ugh, the cornstarch. Don't do that. Guys, Misha was really mean to me the other night. Sent me a video of someone, just the sound of them eating a tablespoon or like a huge ass spoonful of cornstarch. No, thank you. Okay, so hope everyone had a good day yesterday. I had a nice and restful day. Samo got me some yummy snacks last night as like a little treat for doing awesome at home, saving money on groceries and stuff. He's doing good. Did you see his photos that he put in Discord yesterday, you guys? Goes to fill up the water because it's like the whole station is inside of this little tent thing at work. The snow is over top of the tent basically. So he had to dig it out. That's insane, Kimmer. So what happens up there is like in the Arctic, it's so cold. It doesn't really like snow that often, but it just blows the snow through the tundra, right? Because it's so flat, there's no trees. So that was just from wind overnight. Like what, 5 feet of snow built up? I love those adventures like that up there. You really never know what you're gonna wake up to the next day. But yeah, he's doing really good. But we have, I think, 10 more sleeps now? It's going fast, I have to say that. Hello, Chef Samurai Rick. How are you doing today? Okay, so we are cooking today's lunch still that we had planned for the weekend. The only thing we're doing different for today is we're gonna still make our dessert that we wanted to make yesterday because I have everything already ready in the fridge for it. So I thought, hey, might as well do this. So yeah, the duck you're asking. So the duck we prepared on Friday's stream. If you wanna go back, it's right at the beginning of the stream to see how we prepared that, and we just sous vide it. We went off of the Serious Eats article for sous vide confit duck, and we did the 155 Fahrenheit temperature for 36 hours. So this is our 36 hours now. I think in like 30 minutes or so, it'll be like the perfect 36 hours. It took us about half an hour to like get it rinsed. And then we talked about how to prepare it and like vacuum sealed. So yeah, we will take that out. And this is like the easiest thing ever. All we have to do with that duck, I usually leave it, like try to leave it in the warm water until you are ready to prepare it, because then it's already hot and you just have to crisp up the skin in a frying pan really quick. So yeah, pretty simple dish today. We'll work on those lentils because our duck is basically done. And I will say these lentils and this duck dish is such a great combination if you're someone who's never really eaten duck, and especially duck confit. I just love to eat them with these stewed lentils. Like we'll put some nice homemade chicken stock in there. There is mirepoix, so carrot, onion, celery, lots of different herbs, and yeah, it's just a classic French dish, I would say, that is awesome for winter, and I would say doesn't cost a ton to make either. Lentils are a great thing to kind of meal prep too and eat throughout the week for the next couple days. Just ate a club sandwich with hummus, jalapeno ranch chips, but duck confit sounds amazing. I can't remember the last time I had duck confit even. It must have been up at work last time. We would make that sometimes for the guys. You want to see my duck variation? Sounds good, dude. Okay, so then also our apple galette, which is also a French thing, but it's such a simple dessert. I would say this is like the lazy person's apple pie. Because we use a pie dough, we use a pie crust, so I already have that prepared from a previous stream. All I did was take it out of the freezer and put it in the fridge to thaw overnight so that it's nice and chilled still out of the fridge. You just roll out your pie crust into a round and you like pile on your spiced apples on top. If you want, you can put like extra sugar and butter in there and you kind of just like fold up the edges and you bake that. So dang easy. I don't even know, like we definitely, I don't think have made this on stream before, so this will be a fun one. And I'm trying to think of the last time I've like eaten a galette or made one at like a workplace, or was it at culinary school? So definitely time to make a galette. Kame, how are you doing? How is life? 8 months ago, Sam posted about duck confit at the camp. It was that long ago? I mean, we might have had it since. But that also might be accurate. Thanks for looking, Mish. Have I seen the small petite pie cooker? It's similar to a waffle maker. No, I haven't. Do you have one? You're good, Kame. You made Neapolitan pizza for a party last night. Turned out good. I gotta put pizzas in chat for that. Dust, thank you very much, my dude. Holy, that's the number. 55 months in a row? Where did those months go? How is your Sunday? Woohoo! You have a petite pie cooker and it uses puff pastry. Interesting. I don't have a lot of those one-use appliances. We're really trying to downsize, basically into a tiny home. So I'm slowly getting rid of those things that I don't think I would often use as much, and that would take up space for something else that would be more useful. But it is so much fun to play with those little different appliances, I will say that. Last time I cooked the duck confit on stream was in 2022. This is seriously why I love our Discord channel. I'm so happy I started it right when I started streaming, because now we can always go back and like relive those memories together. You won a new fish spatula, Kame, kitchen tweezers, a tiny Dutch oven, and a whiskey decanter set. Pretty good night overall, I would say so. Making the pizzas, it paid off. We can say that. Did you keep the pizzas like just simple margarita, or did you add some different flavor variations? Okay, I'm gonna write our list. Okay, remember we finished that other notebook last time? I think this is the last one I have out of that like once upon a time stack. We're red today. Oh, it's been slightly used. It's been slightly used. Is there a date on this? The page I open it up to, and I don't know when this was used last, but we did duck butchery. That is the weirdest thing. I hate when that happens. I made a gastrique with it, it says. Okay, let's stay on task. A kawinky-dink, if you will. The pie maker has a built-in cutter to load the puff pastry. You made mini pumpkin pies and a turkey pot pie. Which one turned out better? You had a simple sauce, Kame, matzo, pecorino, good quality meats, mushroom, basil. Yeah, I'm into that. I want that. Greek, welcome in, dude. How's your weekend? Thank you as well for the resub. All of the regulars are rolling in. These amount of months. 39 months in a row, Greek. Thank you. The chicken wing song, and you want macaroni. It's not a good song for stoners, let's say that. Okay, I'm gonna try and rate my list still. You guys got me chatting today. I guess that's what happens when we miss one stream in the weekend. We have so much to catch up on. Okay, so first things first, I want to make the galette so that it can get into the oven and baked. And maybe we'll even try it fresh out of the oven before we have lunch. Feeling kind of crazy today. Greek, you haven't smoked or anything. You just want macaroni. Make some up then, dude. Get those cravings in. Okay, so we got our crust for the galette. We got to prepare the apples. Is this crazy? I was thinking to put in like a swipe of cookie butter on the bottom of the pie crust before we layer the apples on. That sounds delicious. And then we fold it up. Did we post our recipes yet? I don't know, but I just posted them now. Chicken wings also sound good, Greek. I know I was like trying to see yesterday what I wanted Samo to order for me, and there was this Chinese food place that had buy one, get one. What is it called? Louisiana fried chicken wings or something? It's like, oh, they looked so crispy and delicious. Kat, you forgot to tell us. You're at the grocery store a few weeks back. Family was shopping. They're in a hot dog section. The kid was singing the chicken wing song. As you walked past, he got to the chillin' with my homies part and stopped. So you sang it and he got so excited and his mom laughed. Yes! It brings people together. What can we say, right? Speaking of Chinese, Cammy, you gotta admit the Chinese roast duck is your favorite preparation of it. Okay, so I still don't think I've ever had a proper Peking duck set from a Chinese restaurant. We've still never got that with like the little pancakes and all that stuff, how they slice it up for you. I need to live that in my life because I do like duck. The brand name for your little pie maker is called Dash, if anyone else wants to check it out. Okay, our salted caramel apple galette. So there's not many components. I have the pie crust, we have our apples, I have the caramel made, and that's basically all you need. Optional whipped cream and stuff. Yeah, optional. That's if you guys want it. I've been just like doing a little scoop of yogurt on top, which is really good with the vanilla. You've seen them, Katniss, the little pie maker that Rick's talking about. Peking orange duck is really good, Greek. It's like, you guys ever went to a proper Chinese restaurant with like a bunch of people and you sit down and there's like the big lazy Susan in the middle of the table? You just order so much food that you fill it up and you're there for like hours. I'm reminiscent about being in Vancouver, Greek. Okay, our galette. It says prep time 20 minutes, cook time 40, total time 1 hour. So they say fresh, juicy apples, salted caramel, cozy fall spices. We can say also cozy wintry spices. It's not just for fall. A homemade buttery pie crust come together to make the tastiest galette you'll ever have. I don't often make these remarks. Because like, what if it doesn't turn out and it's not the tastiest galette you've ever had? Maybe this is why I'm not a recipe blogger, because no one would make my recipes. I'm too honest. They say this salted caramel apple galette gives you all the flavor of apple pie with a fraction of the work. See, that's why I said it's like the lazy person's apple pie. It's got all the flavors and like the texture of the crust, but it doesn't take nearly as long to prepare. Ooh, you would add dark chocolate into there with the apples? Yum. There's a place that used to be called Beijing. Greek, if you go for Chinese food in Vancouver, go to Dynasty. That's where we always went. and it was just the greatest. Oh, the sizzling rice. I have wanted to try that place, actually. Is it good? Yeah, there's a couple of fancy rice places here now. It's gotta be like some pretty dang good rice for the prices that they charge, right? Yum, Katniss. I'm loving these suggestions, guys. If you want your galette more tart, I will say mine's gonna be pretty tart because I like to use Granny Smith apples for this. So I'm already using a tart apple to contrast the sweetness of the other stuff, like the caramel, the cookie butter I'm gonna put in. You go to Hans in Vancouver. You have P.F. Chang's here. We do have a P.F. Chang's too, but it actually doesn't have that good of reviews, the one location we have. What's duck confit, DJ Beat? So duck confit is typically done with a duck leg. I haven't seen duck confit made with any other part of the duck other than maybe the wings, but there's not a ton of meat on the wings, so kind of a waste. So what duck confit is you take your duck leg, you season it with like salt, sugar, pepper, and some herbs and let that sit overnight. It's called curing. You rinse that off the next day, and then you cook the duck leg at a low temperature in its own fat until the meat is really tender and falling off the bone. And then if we're gonna make it really delicious today, this is the best way to finish it, is you crisp up the duck skin after it's been slow cooked. So the skin is really crispy on the outside, and then all of the meat is super tender on the inside. Katniss is wearing her Cook with Kate merch sweater today. I love it. But it's not... Is it the new logo or the old one? Wait, Michael, your power went out? Maybe it's a curse. It's a curse through stream. The new one? So we're matching? We're matching on a Sunday? I had an old logo. Do you remember my first logo I ever got created by my friend Greek? It was Sustainable West Coast Cooking is what it said on the bottom of it. But since we're not there anymore, we changed it to just Spread the Deliciousness because that kind of covers everything. And that's more of what we do here. Okay, are we ever gonna actually get cooking today? What is this temperature that we need the oven at? 375 Fahrenheit. And they say it bakes for about 40 minutes. 30 to 40 until the apples are soft and the crust is golden brown. Wait, what's happening with the onions or the shallots? What's the easiest and delicious way to make thin chicken slices? What kind of thin chicken slices are you using this for? That's Cold Cat, the duck. So we're gonna put some onion in with the lentil stew that the duck is going to be going with. And then the duck was cured with garlic and lots of different herbs. Okay, so after we get our galette in the oven, we'll move on to preparing our lentil stew. So I'll write down our mirepoix, our carrot, onion, celery to cut up. I think when the lentil stew is like done, we're gonna mix in a little bit of that like garlic herb compound butter that we made on Friday stream, just like in there at the end for a nice herby, garlicky kick. So just thin sliced chicken breast for dinner. If you have a nice sharp knife, you can slice the chicken before you cook it, nice and thin. But then you have to remember to not overcook it because then it's gonna get really dry, right? So I often say cook your piece of meat whole and then decide how you want it sliced afterwards, right? Because you can slice it thin, you can slice it thick, up to you. You guys have the same temp? That's funny. But Greek is right though. The humidity being on like the Canadian rainforest, they're on the coast, makes it feel so dang cold. It'll chill you to your bones, like to the point where I've been so chilled that the only way I warm up is to like take a hot shower or bath. There's no other way to get it out of you. It's crazy. Okay, reading our lentil recipe. Ooh, they even say you can make these lentils with lamb or like a slow-cooked beef, like beef cheeks or short ribs. That sounds good. Okay, we got a little more reading because this is actually interesting, the article. So confit duck is considered one of France's finest dishes and is native to Gascony in the southwest region. So to confit means to cook slowly in fat, and it's a way of both cooking as well as preserving the food. So when things are sealed in fat, they are preserved and they can stay good longer, let's say. Most of the time this will require refrigeration, because you want to keep that fat cold. But yeah, if you buy pre-made confit duck, the meat's already been cooked, the hard part's already been done, and you just have to heat it through. Which I was saying, not this weekend I don't think, but we talked a previous stream, maybe when we butchered the duck, about how in Denmark, Mish was telling me how they can just buy pre-made duck confit in like a tin can, like 4 to 6 legs, I think. And then they just put the whole tin can into the oven to heat up until the fat is all melted and you can take the duck out of it. And then you just sear it and crisp up the skin after that. I was like, we don't have anything like that really available here. Maybe if I went to the European market, and possibly like a higher end butcher shop would prepare their own form of that and then sell it vacuum sealed. But I so wish that we had that product here, because oh my gosh, I would buy that so much, I think. And it would just be so fun to like maybe take to a potluck or something and do with your friends. I don't know. And then we never, I wonder, I can't even imagine what the customs would be, but that would be payback for me sending you stuff and having to pay. So maybe we should. Okay, we gotta ask Samo. You message Samo and you ask him. Say we need to get Danish duck confit for stream. Let's see the attire. Can you pose fashionably? Are we doing like a runway fashion show down the hallway? Don't make me do this on the internet. Let's talk. We can do this. Okay, is there anything else interesting here? Okay, so they say now what a lot of times people don't know what to eat their duck with. So traditionally some sort of potato side is often favored. But using the French green lentils is a glorious alternative and also healthier for you. There's a lot of good protein in there, lots of good fiber in lentils. Not as much starch as potato. You do that on your streams. I mean, I have music playing. It's just really quiet for you guys. Just some background music. Okay, so the lentils are onion, celery, carrot, definitely some herbs and spices, bay leaf, thyme. How much does this make? Okay, we're not gonna make enough lentils for 6 people, because it's just me. Let's just make half of this amount, and that should be way more than enough anyways. So we need 250 grams of green lentils. And they say to just rinse it under cold water. I'm assuming just to possibly take out any little pebbles or something, or rocks or dust. We need our stock. They put some spinach in. I guess we can mix it in. I have like IQF greens in the freezer that I can just like toss in at the end and mix in. That could be nice for color and health. This is interesting. Red wine vinegar in the lentils. So it's not like it cuts through the richness of the fatty duck leg. And then lots of fresh parsley chopped for garnishing. Just want to see. Okay, so he says to cook the vegetables first until they're soft, which I think is a waste of time. I usually just cook everything together. Like, yeah, we'll start the veggies sauteing first, but usually I mix, like once they're sauteed, mix the lentils in and pour your broth in and cook it all together. It says 45 minutes or so. Around there. It'll be around there for timing. I think maybe a bit less. Okay, sounds good, chef. Confit you later. Okay, our stock. 250 gram lentil. Garlic butter. I think my pen's dying. No. It's the best pen ever. Okay, and then last thing on the list. Sear duck leg. Dun, 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 dun. Away we go, guys. We got this. I feel like I should turn on the oven now for the galette, 'cause it's not going to take us very long to prepare it. First things first, I'll just take the pie crust out, show you what we're working with. So we made this on a previous stream. I'm gonna show you how it should look. So you see how you can clearly tell where there's like the yellow butter chunks and then the white lard pieces? That's how you want your crust to look before you roll it out, and that is what I find makes the most like flaky, puffy, almost puff pastry-esque crust. So I'll take this out, let it temp up a little bit. We'll let it warm up just so it's easier to roll out. If it's too cold, it's gonna crack and just cause you stress that's not needed. So while we prepare the apples and stuff, we'll let that warm up on the side. I'll probably even like put it over by the stove because it'll be warm there. And this is a 375 Fahrenheit bake. You hide your pens at work because people steal them. You bring your own because high standards. Me too. Me too. Okay, so what's your pen? Because we all have a certain pen. I mean, I'm left-handed, so I usually go with like a Pilot sort of one. A little bit fancier because I find that the ink doesn't smudge as quick when I write. And it dries really quick. So I'm a Pilot girly. You'll post a pic. What? Wayne likes Sharpies.
Sharpie, yes, gel.
Or yeah, he likes the Sharpie like gel version. You asked for pens for Christmas and your husband had the hardest time finding them? Oh no. It's an important one. If you like to write, the feeling of a pen really makes a difference. Also, you're a lefty too. Maybe it's a lefty thing. I don't know. Okay, what do we need for our apples? 3 apples peeled and chopped, 1/3 of a cup of the caramel sauce, and then our spices, cinnamon, clove, ginger, nutmeg, salt, and then some egg for the egg wash because that's what gives it the nice kind of like sheen and color on the galette. Lefty gang gang. High five, guys. I will say a lot of cooks and chefs that I have met in my career are also left-handed. Like, kind of mind-blowing how many there were. Like, how many there were of us at work, just at Goose? Wasn't it like the whole day shift almost was all lefties? It was like, what? Wild. Yeah, Sam's mom's a lefty too. So Sam's mom is a lefty and we're born on the same day. You stole a great pen from a hotel in Iceland and you're having a crisis deciding whether to go back only to get more? If you take that trip, I'm going with you. This sounds fun. Okay, I'm gonna start getting stuff out. Mish. Straight to jail. Oh my goodness. I'm also making this galette today because the apples are starting to go weird in the fridge. They're like getting these weird brown dots on there that I've never seen happen before. And these were grown here in BC. This is what I'm talking about. Did it get a boo-boo? Someone was like fighting these apples or what? And then I picked this one out because it really pooped. I think that will be enough for our like pretty small crust that we have. Okay, I'm gonna go grab the spices and stuff. Cat's pens are Paper Mate Inkjoy ballpoint pens, and they have a triangular shape. Ooh. For like the grip? That's cool. Okay, so there's no like sugar in here. Which I really like, because oftentimes you'll like toss the apples with a bunch of sugar and stuff. What do we do with the caramel sauce then? Roll out the pie dough, do the apples. Add the apples, spices, salt to the bowl with a 1/3 cup of caramel. Don't be afraid to get messy. So we'll take the caramel out then. It's really thick and dark and delicious. You posted a pic. Stolen pen from Iceland. What is even so fancy about that? It doesn't even look that fancy, Mish. I love when that happens though, hey? You're like, I don't even know why I like it. Let's get a bowl. First, I'm just gonna cut that brown part off of this one. It's just so basic, but it's your favorite. I know, when you find a pen that rates good, you gotta hold on to it. Eric, some of your chilies get smaller spots while on the plant. Maybe too much watering or root and rot, you think it's called, with these little spots. Interesting. Well, thank you for sharing, dude. Because, yeah, I've never seen that happen before. So let's see what it looks like underneath there. Yeah, it's just the skin. It doesn't even really go through to the flesh. But I thought, hey, looks kind of weird to like just eat fresh as a apple. So let's use it to bake or do something else, right? But I'm not gonna throw it out. Katniss, you don't hate your pens for being fat? I guess we can also say with this pen chat, it depends on what kind of paper you write on too. That looks good. Guys, what are you getting up to today? After this? I think it's nice enough still. I'm gonna go for a walk. Get some fresh airs. I hit the core, I'm just gonna retract where I cut. No core allowed in these apple pieces. It's pretty cold, Dust. It's allowed to be like, I don't want to say lazy for not wanting to go for a walk when it's cold, but you're allowed to be cozy. Don't like shame yourself for that, right? We're so bad as like think we don't deserve the rest. Yeah, we do. But yeah, sometimes it is fun to just bundle up and be like the only person that's out. You're considering getting your hair trimmed today, but you think you'll wait another month? I think I'm actually like cutting mine when Sam comes home, guys. Okay, so we're gonna cut apple chunks. Usually go, what, 1/4 inch thick pieces? Not too thin that it goes really mushy, but then also not too thick that it stays crunchy, right? I'm just gonna eat this piece, I think. How much am I gonna cut off? I think we need, for me to be able to donate it, which is what I wanna do, you need 12 inches of like good, like nice, clean, trimmed, usable hair. So I think like if I straighten my hair, because that's what you have to do, I think we'd easily get that. I don't want to steal your money, Mish. Also, I don't know if I could ever shave off my eyebrows. It's taken so long for me to get them to this point. Easily half of my life. Holy, you got 2 hours on your power outage, Michael? What is going on in this world, hey? You'll send me $1,000 worth of Confit duck. I win Confit duck for a year. Careful what you wish for. Might open up the stream one day to eyebrowless Kate. Just tattoo new ones. Oh yeah, I guess I can just go get them microbladed, Eric. Take some of that $1,000 of duck confit, sell it in the black market here, and get my new eyebrows. This can all actually work out. Okay, let's not tell Mish our plan. Hey, just rinsing our knife. What is Family Day? Wait, is it Family Day in Canada? Okay, so one thing about like being a chef, other than like the known big box store holidays, chefs don't really pay attention to like the other holidays because we never get them off, right? It's like, oh, there's a holiday on Monday. I'll be working. Yeah, she wonders why we say no to all of her ideas. One of these days, though, we'll say yes. She's just gotta come up with a really good one. I believe so, Katniss. It's just an extra day that you're supposed to spend with family. Don't even get me started on that. I mean, they could just add an extra day that we could spend with family out to every week, but hey. That's not allowed, right? Like, imagine having a weekend, either Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It would change people's lives. Okay. Spice time. Allspice, cinnamon, nutmeg. Don't have cloves. Oh, I got the cookie butter over here. Yes, please. Maybe a little bit extra vanilla, because that's yummy. I mean, you can really put a lot of different things into a galette, I think we can say. Mish. Johnny, yeah. You guys have families? We're so bad. Okay, and we do add a little bit of salt into here, so I think I'll do that first before I get too carried away. Yeah, a day to spend with family, good one, caretaker. That got turned into a paid holiday for most Canadians. Is it actually most Canadians? Because I would say, like, these holidays now, more people are actually working rather than having it off. There's so much of the service industry. They're working every single day, man. I think we definitely scare newcomers away. But you know what, Mish? If they're scared, then they weren't our people to begin with anyways. And that is something that I have just come to terms with over these 6 years of streaming. Is, yeah, who cares? If we're not for them, then that is okay. But they will find their community at some point. My honesty has always scared a lot of people away, and that is a-okay with me. It's very peaceful. Live a peaceful life. Katniss. Yeah, we scare people. Man, there's this like one person with the red name in the Cook with Kate channel. Just out of her mind. Thanks, Michael. Should be proud to be here. Okay, I'm just sprinkling spices, as you guys can see. This is cinnamon, so we'll go heavier on this one. Gotta make it taste like a pie. Where's all of our older humans? Where's all of our older regulars that are usually here? Hello? They're leaving the kids, like, unsupervised this weekend. I'm actually shocked. You don't count. You're like the bad uncle, Nike. You're not a supervisor. We could say both to that one, cat. Okay, let's come closer because you can't see nothing. Okay, just a little bit of vanilla. Bob was alive yesterday. He's hip, he's cool, he's 45. I don't know where Bonk is. That's the stuff I'm saying right now. It's just been an odd sort of week, I think. Okay, caramel time. And we'll kind of let that marinate all together while we roll out the crust. They said 1/3 of a cup, but we're just gonna like scoop it. Is it even gonna melt? Is it even gonna melt? Do I have to put it into the microwave for a second? This is what I'll do. We'll put it in. And we'll just put it over by the stove. Because the stovetop is hot. So while we roll this out, it'll get softened. We made an educated decision. Good work, team. Good work, team. Okay, so I will say if you make your caramel, because some people like to also drizzle it on top after it's baked. If you make it too thick, just warm it up slowly. You don't want to go too quick because you'll split the butter and sugar. But you can rewarm it slowly to the point where you can drizzle it or do whatever you want, really. Okay. Our crust is nice and temped, where like I can put my finger in it, but it's not super soft that it's gonna stick to everything. I did make that caramel. It's like from forever ago. So what, we were talking about fat preserving stuff? You can make caramel and it will stay in the fridge for like heckin' ever because it's just like cooked fat and sugar, right? It's candy basically. And then I also brought this to spread under the apples because we're sick like that. Okay, let me go grab our rolling pin and a little bit of flour. You guys are gonna laugh at me because like I've been trying to not buy wheat flour. I mean, this crust is wheat based, so I don't really care about that. But we're gonna use gluten-free flour to roll it out. And it honestly might work really good to roll it out. It won't be as sticky. Kind of excited to see what happens here. I keep mine in the fridge, but yeah, you could totally keep it in the freezer too. Up to you and how fast you think you would use it, right? Eat some caramel? Okay. It reminds me more of a toffee almost. It's so like nutty. Nutty and buttery. I will tell you this before. Okay, so when I was in my youth, but before I went to culinary school, let's say in high school, I got really obsessed with making like homemade caramel popcorn. I would almost make it every week. And then just like go watch a movie by myself, right? So that's how I got really good at making caramels. And I will tell you, like there was definitely a couple times that I fudged them up. But I learned along the way, and like you try different recipes, see which ones work the best. That's such a fun one to practice with though. Caramel popcorn. And let me tell you, my family really enjoyed my obsession with that too, I think. Okay, before we roll this, I'm just going to prepare the sheet pan, the baking pan first that this is gonna be put onto. All we need is parchment. Moose Munch popcorn with chocolate drizzle. Popcorn is such a yummy snack. Might have to make some. Okay, I'll also say this before we roll out the dough for the galette. I've also seen galettes like not round. Sometimes it looks really cool if you make them like more rectangular or oval shaped. So you decide what you think's gonna work best for you. Katniss, have you ever had popcorn balls? I find them a little sweet for me, but I remember my one aunt, she would often make those as like a treat when the family would get together at the lake or something. Popcorn balls, you can really load them up with whatever you want. If you find your dough is sticking, just give it a little swirl around. There's like an eyelash or something in there. The heck? Extra fiber. You don't like kettle corn, only the candied stuff. Interesting. The sweet and salty one, yeah. A lot of people don't love that flavor combo. I am someone that really does like it, though, I will say. Yeah, there was definitely a phase I went through, like, yeah, getting kettle corn all the time. Holy shit. It was sticking a bit. The gluten-free flour works so good. I think we need more, though. Hi, Yet It Is. How are you doing? Did you have a good weekend? Nice. Look at that timing. The oven just beeped. Let's get this finished up. I'm gonna roll this pretty thin. Like maybe a bit thinner than 1/4 inch. But we really want to make sure it's all the same thickness around through the dough. Sticking over here, what? I didn't realize we were zoomed in so much. But you can see how the dough just like flies around the cutting board as you're rolling it out. Okay, that looks pretty good. Oh, guys, I forgot to tell you. I watched a Disney movie for the first time yesterday. Lilo and Stitch. It was so good. Hello, Matthew. Okay, that looks pretty round. No, I've never seen that Disney movie. And then the next one on my list, because I'm like trying to watch the movies as I play Disney Dreamlight Valley, I'm starting to realize I haven't seen a bunch of movies. So like I don't really understand the characters in the game. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So my next one is Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah. Have I ever tried making homemade cereal? No. I haven't. Have you? Mish, you will come to learn that there's actually like quite a few movies that I have never watched in my life. I don't know what that's about. Maybe because I was a sports kid? I really just don't understand it. Even growing up, like being young, I didn't really watch Sesame Street or anything like that. Always just been like an old soul. But like the classic Disney movies, like Little Mermaid, Peter Pan, stuff like that, oh, I watched those 5 billion times easily on VHS. Wreck-It Ralph is fun, but kind of annoying, really. Okay, so look at all of our, I always say the pie crust looks like a marble countertop or something like that when we roll it out, because you can see like the white lard and like the butter streaks. That's how you know it's gonna be so flaky. Okay, first before we spread the cookie butter, I want to see if our caramel is softening, and it is. Perfect. Okay, we'll let that keep going over there. Who's had this in their life? I really, yeah. I didn't get like a ton of little console and like handheld things. Like I never had Game Boys and stuff like that. But my gosh, our collection of Disney VHS movies, it was so legendary that like I thought about not getting rid of them. I think they were sold in a garage sale or something, right? Oh, so I picked this up at Costco this week, mostly for Samo. But I thought, hey, like, if I'm gonna cheat and have some gluten today, I might as well just, like, go all in. I'm gonna... How do I want to spread this? So we're probably gonna, like, just fill around this point. So kind of keep that in mind. Stay within that circle. Leave, like, what, 1.5 inches, 2 inches that we can fold over to make our little pie. Beauty and the Beast, you remember seeing in theaters as a kid? I don't remember seeing any Disney movies in theaters. But that doesn't mean I didn't. I just don't remember. Okay, so we're gonna use our offset spatula because the way that it's shaped makes it really easy to spread stuff out when there's like an edge around. That's why it's built like that. This should be pretty nice and soft. Whoa. That would have been like such a perfect quenelle, my first scoop. Look at that. That is way better than the Trader Joe's one. What the heck? That's the only cookie butter I've ever had. That literally just tastes like the Biscoff cookies blended up. Mish, you got scared of the leopard in Tarzan? Oh. Oh yes, yeah, the Biscoff, the cookies. Would you like some cookies or would you like some pretzels? Yeah, that was the first time I ever had cookie butter dust. When we lived in Vancouver. I took Samo to America for the first time and we went to Bellingham. We went to Trader Joe's. Being kind of gentle doing this because I don't want to like smoosh down the pastry. See, like that, and like tear it. Hi, Oak. How are you doing? Did you make it back home? Is that what I seen? From your work trip? That looked like it wasn't such a bad work trip after all, I'm gonna say. Okay. That looks good enough to me. Like, I'm not going super crazy. When it starts to bake, that's gonna, like, melt and distribute, I would say. You were 4? Okay. I won't laugh. Yeah, you're a little sad. Being sad just means you care about something, though. So it's okay. This is the weirdest lid ever. It doesn't really, like, close. It's like one turn. Closed. Interesting. Okay. So our caramel's underneath there, and we just have apples and spices. Gotta move it over. They say to mix our apples and spices with the 3rd cup of caramel. We'll pour that over the pastry, spread it out, fold in our edges into the oven. You can make these with so many different types of fruit. I chose apples because I had a bunch to use up and they weren't looking super good. It's a great time to use them to bake with. The work trip was exhausting, but the week after, you surprised Lauren. I knew you were gonna do that. That's so funny. Sam and myself talked about that. We're like, how much you want to bet Oko's gonna go see Lauren while he's there? Because, like, why wouldn't you, right? So dang cute. Well, I hope as this year goes along, maybe you guys can figure out a way to be together more often, right? Hi, Good Bear fan. Look at this. Can we just take the spoon and start eating the apples? How are they gonna make it into this? Looks like we're gonna have some extras though, because we don't want it piled up too high. So I'll let you know how the caramel apples taste tomorrow. Oh, sick. I love it. You can have it piled a little bit up, but just keep in mind, like, the taller that you pile it, the longer the apples are gonna take to cook and soften. I think that looks good. Now we'll fold in the edges. I think maybe we can go a little bit more this way, actually. Just noticed there was like a lot of crust on that side. Now I need one more scoop. For good measure. There. Fill in the gaps. It's like an apple pie puzzle. Okay, I'm gonna lick the spoon up. Actually, maybe I'll just pack those extra ones into the fridge right now. Hey, it's Bonk. Showed up early yesterday, today you're late. Well, we're just happy you're here, because chat was already asking where you were. We were saying, how dare we be left unsupervised on a Sunday? It's been a busy weekend. It seems to be that way, Bonk. Yeah, you're not the only one. Like, even Friday's stream. Also, just when I was out and about on Friday, it was so quiet around the city. Like, less than half of the people around compared to usual. It was weird. That is gonna be way too good. And it's a 3-day weekend. Okay, so we were taught by True Caretaker that this weekend is Family Day in Canada. What do you guys have? What are you celebrating in the States? Or you just have a long weekend? Okay, is there a special way to fold this? Oh, President's Day. Oh, and we just need our egg wash. Lift the edges of the dough over the apples, folding every 3 to 4 inches as you go around. So like a little crimp, they're saying. We go boom, and then to like fold it, right? This is what she's saying, is you fold it there over itself. So once again, where that lays, take it, fold it. And then we'll pop an egg wash on after to seal up all those edges. Dang, that is actually looking so good. I've never made a galette, she says. This should be our last fold over here. Also be careful to not poke the apples through the pastry. Maybe could have tucked that edge in more. I think it's gonna look awesome when it bakes up. Oh, it used to be 2 separate days before. Now it's just 1. I'm gonna do an egg and probably a little bit of milk too, because that makes the nicest egg wash for pastry. Let me just go grab a container. And then I'll probably use the excess of this in like an omelet or something. I don't know. This. Just gonna mix it up with the fork. This is also the time when you put the egg wash on. If you wanted to sprinkle some coarse sugar around the edge, so it kind of makes it sparkly when it bakes up, you could do that. So we always whip our egg first by itself. If you don't want to put milk in, if it's expensive, you can also just do water. Just don't make it too watery, that it won't stick to the pastry. Yeah, right, Kat? Like, tradespeople, service staff, medical workers. Like, to me, all of those are, like, frontline people, right? Anytime you're, like, basically keeping someone alive, right? Feeding someone, you're keeping them alive. They're in the hospital, you're keeping them alive. If they're out, like, buying stuff for themselves, well, you're still helping their life, right? Just a little bit of milk. Now we'll take a pastry brush. Yes! I don't even know, actually, if Hitch ended up making it. Does anyone know? I didn't finish watching the stream. But when we did raid him, I believe he was already late, is what chat was saying. He made it, Eric? Nice! Ugh, that was getting so stressful watching after we raided the cars that would like keep stopping but not pick him up. Oh, he had to fly down? Did he have to pay for the flight or someone else bought it for him? Try to not get any of the caramel on the crust as you're brushing this. But I will say, when you are putting egg wash on it, it's important to distribute it evenly, because when it bakes, you'll be able to see the spots that you missed. So as much as we want to be like really quick with this, not actually the best. I think that looks nice. Okay, I think we're ready, guys. I don't think I'm gonna put any extra sugar on it. So it says 30 to 40 minutes at 375 Fahrenheit. So I think we'll check it at 20 and then decide if it needs, what, another 10 or another 20 from there. Into the oven. We'll go in the middle rack for this. Don't think we want to go too close to the top because then the pastry may risk burning. Oh, that's true, Katniss. Yeah, if you're someone that's not religious, at least those other people can get those days off. I'm just gonna give our board a wipe after rolling out the pastry. We got some flour. And we're getting into the lentils next. Oh, and the other one, I'm just going to turn off the sous vide back there with the duck, but we'll leave the duck in the hot water so it stays nice and warm until we're ready to crisp up the skin in the pan. But we have definitely hit our 36-hour mark. Okay, put a few things away before we go to our next step. And the timer is set. I think we want a little bit higher of a temp for the galette, just so that the pastry is able to properly kind of puff up compared to how a pie bakes at a lower temp. You don't want that crust to be soggy at all underneath, right? Okay, so for our lentils, I know we need carrot, onion, celery, and like any other aromatics that you want with that, herbs. My one celery stalk. Hilarious. Yeah, I'm that person too. I don't mind working Christmas or anything like that now. Probably just because I've done it so many times that you realize it doesn't really matter. I'm not too worried about those. Actually, we'll just trim them off. Heck it. Okay, that's nice and clean. Not making a ton of lentils, right? So you don't need a lot of all of this. A little goes a long way. We'll peel that one up. Grab our peeler back after the apples. Nike. People look at me funny when I ask for Halloween off. I just tell them I'm religious and look at the moon. I'm doing that. Oh my goodness. Right? We're all stealing it now. Okay, we're not gonna use this whole dang onion. What? A quarter of it's more than enough? Oh, and maybe we'll grab our lentils, get them measured out. Because it says to give them a little soak in some water before we actually cook them. Grab a scale, because we need 250 grams. Don't need a huge bowl. Start requesting off all the solstices. Yeah, I need every new moon off. It's important. We're there. Almost like how we soak our beans and other stuff before we cook them, right? Lentils are kind of weird when you do this. They're all floating. Give that a little stir and we'll just let that sit while we prepare everything else. Exactly, Bonk. I just want to know what the reaction would be. Okay, while I'm over here, bring the dried thyme. We got bay leaf. That over by the stove where we'll be cooking. Salt Spring Sniper, you once showed up to a golf course. They let me know the special of the day was duck poutine. Quickly said, oh good, I brought my own duck. Is that supposed to be a pun? Because it went over my head. And you ducked? I don't know. Hi CJ Dewey, welcome. Okay, so we're gonna finally dice all of our veggies for this. Oh, golfers and ducks don't mix. I get it. Wait till the goose happens. But yeah, whenever we are putting aromatics like this into a dish, we try to match almost like the size of the pulse, whether it's rice, lentils, pasta, beans, doesn't really matter. But it will always make a nicer like sauce and just cook better if you keep this stuff a little bit more delicate in size. And it's better for eating, I find. I'm gonna take that piece out, but we should be able to slice through like that. There we go. We'll finish the rest of that. And all of this will get cooked together in the pot. You can put it all in the same container to bring it over there. Yeah, because a lot of golf courses have ponds, and then in those ponds there's ducks, and ducks can be distracting, or yeah, you accidentally hit them with your golf ball. The carrot will just quarter like this because it's really nice and thin. Cut along that way. The gooses, the cobra chimkins. I am having a great day, thank you. CJ, you don't have any beef with ducks? Cobra chimkins. You guys have never heard the Canadian geese called that? You're joking me. That is what they're known as here. Because they start looking all cobra-y when you get near them, and you better watch the heck out. But then it's like a chicken at the same time. Yeah, if their head starts flapping, you better run, man. He's about to let you know. think I remember feeding geese at like this one lake that my parents and I always went to that their friends had a place at. But then I also remember getting bit too, I think. And then I don't think I did it again after that. Their little beaks are pretty tough. Okay, so that's good to go. Looks like a good mix. You love the geese that fly over your house. Look forward to see them. I love the birdies. I don't love geese the most, definitely not, but they're pretty nice to watch. Speech to text is not southern friendly. Just your little dialect. That's so dang cute. Okay, what else do we need? Oh. Guys, they just baked their duck in the oven, it looks like, to crisp up the skin. I just like to do it in a pan. I think it's a little bit quicker. And not as dry, right? If you bake the duck in a dry oven. Not that it should dry out. There should be more than enough fat. I got carried away reading through the recipe reviews of what people were saying, but a lot of people have actually made this. Okay, so we got our bay leaf dried. We got thyme dried. If you have it fresh, by all means, use that. We have our lentils rinsing under cold water. We'll just have to strain those afterwards. So for the 500 grams of lentils for 6 people, they need a liter of stock. So we'll need 500 milliliters of stock for our half recipe. We'll get that measured out. And then just some other seasonings, like red wine vinegar near the end, a little bit of olive oil to cook the veggies in, and then a garnish if you want. You've never tried duck. Still. Hi, Scoots. How's it going? How's your weekend? Okay, and they say also they added some chopped baby spinach in. I might throw in that handful of IQF greens just to get it out of the freezer. I think that sounds good. Salt Spring Sniper. I mean, someone's gotta say the bad jokes around here. You have an extra day off tomorrow for a holiday, so you're doing good. I should have planned a stream for tomorrow then. That's okay though. I'll let you guys have your time off. Chillin'. Okay. Medium-sized pot for our lentils. We'll get our veggies cooking, and we'll get everything else going as well. We'll turn that off and unplug the sous vide. It's nice to have power to everything today. And look, the camera is not 5 minutes behind lagging. It's Cheeseology. Thanks for the follow. Guys, it was so weird yesterday. Okay, this is, yeah. I go to make toast, and like the lights are flickering on the toaster. And then I put my toast in and it just won't do nothing. But then I switch to another plug in the kitchen and it works fine. I was cooking bone broth yesterday. I go to like turn on the hood vent. The hood vent wouldn't turn on. Open the fridge is off. It was so crazy. But then like the rest of the apartment had power. And from what? So from before 9 a.m., because I'm pretty sure it happened before I was like pondering around in here, until I think around like 1, the power would come on, the internet would go out. The internet's back, the power's gone. The video of the hallway was so scary yesterday. So dang scary. It's seriously, yeah, like Bonk said, I just wanted to see if this was too hot. It's not. But it looked like Stranger Things, like apocalyptic vibes. So finally, I was just like, I'm getting out of here because this is too weird to just stick around and deal with. So you like come out of the dark hallway and then everything else is bright, right? So confusing. Just grabbing the olive oil. Coat the bottom of the pot. So we'll cook this until it's softened, just kind of turning golden brown. Probably take around 10 minutes or so. But that's also how we like create the best flavor. Katniss. Yeah, power's overrated. Oh, thank you, Salt Spring Sniper. Okay, we got sizzles starting. I do always like to season my mirepoix as we're cooking it, so I'll do a little bit of salt and pepper. It's smelling like apple pie in here, guys. Already. Gonna grab a spoon so we can stir that. It's always the electricians. Does he get to eat what I cook? If he wants to. The offer's always there. The sizzle sounds. Love that sound. Get all those onions off. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the wires out back of the building. It definitely, I was saying this morning, it wasn't a transformer that blew, because I've heard that before, and that is like so scary and loud. Frank, as a young electrician, I had to strip to make ends meet. You would, Frank. You would. Okay, we need our broth measured out. This is a chimkin broth from our rotisserie chicken. So pretty like simple flavors, but I thought it would go so good with the duck. So they said half a liter of that to cook the lentils. Look at that. All the fat floating on top. We want all that goodness. Pretty dang steamy. Steaming it up in here. Okay, and I said when the lentils are finished, we're going to stir in a scoop of garlic herb butter. For extra yumminess. because we can. I'll take that out. I also have some sliced green onions. I'll probably mix those in at the end with the lentils too. As well. Don't think I want to use that parsley because it got too dried. So we'll chop some more fresh parsley for garnish. Okay, first 20 minutes is going off on the timer. I'm gonna take that galette out and have a little peek. I just want to show you guys really quick how it's looking. I'm gonna rotate the pan. So the more golden part was near the back of the oven. Just gonna rotate that. It looks insane, you guys. I think we'll definitely go another 10 on the timer. Frank had his nuts everywhere. You guys. Okay, so the next 10, that will be the 30 minutes, the first timing she lists. And we shall see if it's ready then. Just gonna strain our soaked lentils here on the side so that they're ready to go. They kind of like puffed up a bit. They absorbed a lot of that water actually. Might help them cook quicker. We'll see. Going with your friend to walk her dog at the park. Sounds good, Dust. Have a wonderful walk. And give the doggo a hug for me, okay? Maybe take a photo of it too. Because I love pupper pics. Parsley, come to me. That is exactly what I said, Bonk. I said, this is a lazy person's pie. I didn't say man because I was being gender neutral. I said, this is a lazy person's pie, for sure. It's got all of the textures and flavors. Takes like half the time to make, or less. Give this a stir, see what's happening. We got some browning going on. Just started. So as we cook the moisture out of the vegetables, we'll start to brown them and create more flavor from the caramelization. Couple moments, we'll throw in our herbs, our lentils, and the stock. And then just let that simmer. Yeah, I'm interested actually to see how this is gonna turn out, Bonk. Because some recipes that I looked up just used a pie crust, which is what I did, but then some other ones made this like kind of egg sort of sweetened pastry. But yeah, I just used my plain pie crust recipe that I always use. I had some extra discs in the freezer. I was like, you know what? It's time to make a galette because I got apples to use up. I mean, whenever I use this crust to make a pie, it's really light and flaky and buttery. But let's see if it makes a difference at all, whether it's baked in the pie pan or this. Yeah, if you want the cream, definitely go for it. Even like melting vanilla ice cream on top, always so good, right? I just been using yogurt because I find I can't really use up a liter of cream in time if I buy one for myself. And I don't want to buy a small portion because it's so dang expensive. Part of me being like really picky shopping still. What is everyone else eating today? What you guys got on the go? We'll chop this parsley here together. Fig Newtons, are you making them, Eric? Or you're just munching on them, just snacking? Wait, this says time, but it's definitely not. Who does that? I messed up the lids, I have to go grab it. Okay, we'll pop our bay leaf in there. I'll go run back to the pantry and switch the lids. Ain't nobody got time for that. Just rub it in between your fingers. I always like to stir in the herbs for a moment and kind of fry them up, whether they're fresh or dried, before we add in the moisture. Like, you'll instantly smell it. It gets so nice and aromatic. They make strawberry fig Newtons. That sounds heavenly. Okay, so now we don't want them to burn. We'll pour in our liquid. You just got up to above 10 today without snow scoots. It's really nice there. Turn this fan down. Okay, now I'm gonna scoop all this in. It almost looks like not enough liquid for the lentils. But yeah, they soaked a little bit beforehand, so let's see how this goes. I'm gonna taste this broth as it's coming up. That way we can add any extra salt and seasoning here if we find it's a bit bland. We don't want the lentils to taste bland as they're cooking. Okay, so it has body, but we definitely need some salt. Oh no, Bonk. You're gonna get blasted with rain again? Got some Dave's Killer Bread English muffins with peanut butter. What? Who is this? Impatient platypus. Kate, I'm at a new camp and new job. I just want to say I miss your food and baking. Who is this? I know you. Thank you for saying that, though. That's so cute, guys. Someone's eating my food? And they're here on stream? A real-life friend, I know. Hard to believe. That was, like, so heartwarming, though. Thank you for visiting. Yeah, Bonk. Okay, so we need definitely some more salt. I know they said add veggie broth. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of this concentrate. No, you said it. Holy, look at how much the liquid's already getting absorbed. And like, it's not even simmering. So we might have to add more stock. Let's see what happens. I'm also gonna add a little bit more pepper. And we got 1.5 minutes on the galette. Boom. Who's this? And we're gonna do this. Keep some of the steam in there. White Dove. Nice. Gifting the sub to Impatient Platypus. Welcome to the kitchen crew, friend. A real life friend. Oh shit, it's Alex the girl Geo. Hello. That's so cool. So yeah, guys, we worked together like in the fall. And yeah, I was gone in October, so that was probably the last time she saw me. Love it. Okay, so while we're waiting for that to come up to a simmer, let's actually switch this full view since the galette's gonna be probably ready soon. We'll bring it over to check it out. Then you quit too, so we both did? That's hilarious. It's looking so dang good. I think it might need a little bit longer though. I think we're gonna go a touch longer, hey guys? I feel like this side can get a bit more baked, but look at how good the bubbling apples look. It's definitely not too dark. So let's give it another swivel. I don't know if we need another 10. Maybe I'll even put it to the top rack. Why don't we check it in 5? Because one thing I know about butter and pastry is once it does start to bake and get brown, it goes pretty quick. Thank you. Nice, you got a new offer back in BC, so you chose that instead. I mean, BC is so dang nice. How could you even pass that up, right? I'm happy for you. Thank you, Drunken Buddha. How are you, my guy? It's just a Sam. It's never just a Sam. Okay, we'll quickly do our garnish while we're waiting. Just a bunch of parsley. What's like more French than that? If you want to be really traditional, you have to sprinkle it on the rim of the plate, not just on the food. You've had better days, dude, but you're still here. Yes, you are. And that's really what matters most, right? Take those days with like a grain of salt. Not every day is like that. Is there something that you can learn from this day? Why are you feeling that way? Those are some of the things that I ask myself when I'm having a bad day. Or you can, yeah, be like Mish. Take it with a crack of pepper. Really spice up your life. My gosh. I hate curly parsley compared to flat. I just feel like it takes so much longer to chop it. Just flying all over the board. Cracked red pepper. Mish. That's why you went to jail. I'm just gonna go peek over there. Let's have a peek together. See? I knew it. Okay. I'm gonna go a little bit lower than medium. But that is looking really nice, that's simmering. You don't want it really boiling too much. Kind of treat it like rice, is how I usually cook lentils. Good thing you're here, Bonk. I knew we needed a supervision today. I had a feeling. Imagine if he used all this parsley on the dish. It'd be like a lentil tabbouleh. I'm uncontrollable. That's a pretty accurate statement. Hello, Blitz with the blob. Get the chlorophyll off of the cutting board. Now you gotta rinse the cloth out too, otherwise it'll stain the cloth. Okay, next we gotta get our frying pan out for the duck legs. Maybe we'll slowly take them out of the water, get them on a plate. I would say those lentils should be basically done before we even start searing the duck, because that's a very quick process. The meat's all cooked, we're just crisping up the skin. Easiest part, really. So how's our list? Galette is like done, cross that off. We got everything for the lentils with the garnish. And yeah, just sear the duck at the end. Professional. Okay, timer for the galette just went off. Oh yes. Top rack, I think, was a good call. Look at that. The pastry's all baked. The apples are soft. I just poked one. And it's like all caramelly. So shall we put that over to the cutting board, let it cool, and maybe we'll have a little slice of it before we eat since we're waiting? That's an option. As an adult, you're allowed to make those decisions for yourself. So the oven can go off. How's this going? Nice. A bit of liquid still, but it's definitely cooking down. Really nice, even simmer all around the pot. I might turn it just because I know this stovetop cooks unevenly. All of that flavor from the broth is just going right into there. So I'm gonna sear the duck in my cast iron pan. There's not really any other frying pan that I often use. You gotta get back to work. Hey, have a good rotation, and thank you so much for stopping by. Yes, dessert before dinner, Bonk says, and a small piece after dinner for dessert. It's necessary. It's not that bad, it's pretty healthy. Hey, maybe we'll actually just switch this over since they're almost done, because I think we can fit this side by side. Yes. Okay, let's do that. I know it'll stop simmering for a second, but that's okay. So I'll watch those in the one screen. I'm taking our duck legs out over here. I'll let the water come off. Nice, we're simmering again. Beautiful. Maybe we shouldn't have let the galette over here. Smells too good anyways, keeping it right in front of your face. Dun 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 dun. Wow, they don't even look that good after it's cooked. But that's why we gotta crisp up the skin. But so one thing I always do is like keep all this juices. So grab a container, pour the juices into. You can pour those like right back into your lentils if you want as well. Scissors, yes I do. So then I usually just like hold the duck in the bag. Pour the juices out one by one. And I will say the duck leg is pretty delicate now since it has been cooked for that long. It will fall apart easily, so don't be too rough with it, let's say. And then I do have some duck fat in the fridge that I think I'll just take a little scoop of it and pop that into the frying pan. And this is just something I've learned over time cooking duck confit, is you don't want the skin to stick to the pan and tear, because then you lose all that goodness and it just doesn't turn out the same. So use a little bit of fat for this time. And then yeah, I'm seeing like some of these feathers here. I might pick that off since we have time while the lentils are going. Just on this side, if I hold it up, you'll see it like right along there. And it becomes a weird texture if you leave those on and like fry it. And I find it's easier to pick them off after it's been cooked, rather than try and get them out when it's raw still. That's really it. And yeah, you'll notice like up here, it's basically falling off the bone. If you want, you can get rid of that. But I usually try and keep everything intact as much as possible. That looks better. Okay, so this is the skin side, obviously, and then if I flip it, it is a little bit hard to see, but this is just mostly meat with a little bit of skin on that side. So we mostly just fry on this one side, the skin, until it's crisp, and then I just do a quick flip to get some of this other fatty bit that's underneath. And that's it. I would say less than 10 minutes in the pan for sure. So let's go over, we'll try a lentil and see how cooked it is. And then we should be able to turn on the frying pan. Start heating it up for this yummy duck. So steamy. Don't want to burn my face. You know what else would be really good in these lentils is leeks. The flavor in there is really nice. A little bit of crunch still. But I'm gonna say, if I turn this down a bit, let it cook a bit slower, we can turn on the pan for our duck. Ta-da! So this is my little duck fat container that I skimmed when I made the broth from the duck carcass that these legs came from. If you want to see how we cook the duck breast, we did that last week on stream. It's already on YouTube too if you want to go watch it there. Little of this goes a long way. I call this liquid gold. I think out of any fat, duck fat's like the best. Liquid gold. Okay, when we pop the ducks in, I think it's galette time. I might actually try to slide it onto a plate for the photo, because it looks so dang nice. I think it will fit. Just get this heating up evenly. Who called them? It wasn't me, I swear. Well, that worked so easily. Look at this. Galette for one. Nom. Hey, look it. The fat is like wavy. This is what we're waiting for. That's how you know it's hot. And then obviously if you hear a sizzle, that's also how you know it's hot and ready to use. You don't want to drop your duck legs in if it's not hot, because then I find it will stick. Like I said, we don't want that to happen. It just becomes a mess. And then really important that you are confident where you place your duck in the pan, because you're not going to be moving it for a bit. Always give it a nice press. I'll just turn that down a touch more medium now that it's in there. And it's going to start to smell so good. It shimmers, yeah, right? It looks really cool and wavy. We got you, white dove. Don't worry. Just gonna keep that completely covered and turn it like really low. Okay, so I got my tongs here. We're gonna get a plate for this. I usually like my lentils a bit brothy. So try and pick a rimmed plate, just in case some of that broth goes running. If it doesn't lift up, it's basically tells you like it's not ready, is how I go with. Sometimes I like swirl the fat more around. My stovetop is not even. Sometimes that helps. You can also like swivel this a bit. The other thing times is like sometimes it is ready to flip. You just have to give it a little help. Oh, that meat's just falling off of there. So that one is ready. Holy, I need to eat that. Let's gently try and get this one released. Beautiful. Ah! Ooh, that's what I'm talking about, guys. At least we have one for presentation. Just gotta go quick. I mean, I'd rather have that falling apart than not, right? It's done. I think it's done and it's not dry. Also, hi. I'm warm. Heating it up. Turn that fan up. I'm gonna taste the lentils while we're waiting. I'm gonna just turn that off. Okay, a little bit of broth still in the lentils. That's basically how I like it anyways. Just see how the flavor is. They're like al dente. Just gonna keep the heat on there. And let that cook just a bit more out while we're waiting. The duck, it's definitely hot and ready to go. Just take it off of that hot burner. And we're gonna do galette stuff while we wait. The electric stove makes the mic go nuts whenever you're close. Is it that? Or is it possibly the hood fan? That's the only other thing. Because, like, the induction uses magnets, right? That is not the same stovetop that I'm using now. That's why I don't understand why it's still happening. It could be all of the above. Yeah. I've always thought about the hood fan affecting the noise gate. Turn it off? Okay. We're basically done cooking anyways. That's it off. It's so dang quiet in here without it. Alright, I'm gonna get my camera so I can take this photo while we're waiting. Is it better now, Frank, that I turned the fan off? How would we make that not happen? That is my question. I need a little bit more light in my life for this photo. There. I look like a ghost, it's so bright. Do you hear anything? That's me, like, right over the stovetop. I got one burner on still. Okay, I'm going to assume this galette is quite simple to cut. I popped it on a plate, still silence. So it's the hood fan then? This is how I would cut it, is like go across there, and then the other one, and maybe one more. Sounds so crispy and good. You guys know I'm just gonna eat it with my hands, right? You're gonna go take a nappa? Okay, cat. I hope you have a wonderful nap, and thanks for hanging with us today. Yeah, I think we should cut it into 6 so it's nice, like, little bite-sized pieces. That way, if you want, like, you're like, oh, that wasn't quite enough. You don't really feel bad about eating one more small one. Look at how flaky the pastry is, though. It's falling apart. I would say that worked. Let's also talk about this. Better to have, like, flakier pastry in my mind than pastry that is impossible to cut through. Because then that's hard to eat. It's like an apple pie bite. That's what I thought it would turn out to be. Get the side view. It literally looks like an apple pie, like Pop-Tart, homemade or something. Why don't we make this all the time? Also, I might have put a swipe of cookie butter on the bottom before the apples. Then the apples were tossed in the caramel and spices, not sugar. It's like extra butter and fat. Do you hear the crunches? That is seriously delicious. And it was so easy. I'm like getting all the pie vibes from this still. I thought the bottom crust was gonna be way more soft. It's got that nice crunch. It's not too sweet, which is also why I like it. I don't like a lot of sweet things anymore. So I find whenever there's like pastry involved, something light and buttery is some of my favorite foods. And like all these little pastry bits on the side are just good little snacking bits. Okay, so some electric motors, like a fan, has a condensator installed to dampen the interference. It probably has it worn out or is missing one. Huh. Yeah, fat equals flavor, like Bog says, and butter makes everything better. Okay, I am so happy with this. So some other fruits that you can use. Berries of any kind, any stone fruits, I would say again. Kind of the same fruits that you could use for a crumble, you could use for a galette or a pie, right? Cherry, pear, peach, apricot. Oh man, the list can go on forever. So try your hand at it. All right, lentils. Time to meet your maker. I didn't make the crust today on stream, White Dove. I just took the disc out of the freezer. I had some extra ones, but it's the same crust recipe that I always use for my pies from Sally's Baking Addiction. I wanted to see, hey, will this work if I use it in a galette? Can't get the lighting right as this sun starts to go down, but I think that'll be okay. I would say yes, it worked as a galette. Maybe just don't roll it as thin next time. That's a learning experience though. I haven't made that many galettes in my life. Check this out. It looks pretty like blah, but the flavor of this with the duck, I don't know, it just goes so good together. Oh wait, we actually had some things that we still wanted to put in. Wait. This is gonna actually make it so dang good. So we made this compound butter on Friday stream for our steaks. Garlic, parsley, lemon zest, salt and pepper, butter. So I thought it'd be so delicious to add a couple nubs of that in with the fresh garlic flavor. as well to brighten up the flavor. Just a little bit of sliced green onions I had in the fridge. I find when you mix in green onion to hot things, it kind of changes the flavor, mellows it out a bit. Scoots, you wonder if it would work with apple pie filling, like from the can? I don't see why not. And then you can always like make your caramel on the side, and if you wanted the caramel, just drizzle it on after it's baked. That way it won't get too wet. Whoa, that actually like started to look better. That made it look so yummy. The butter will add sheen, kind of almost make a sauce in there by adding the butter. Time for secret duck juice. You can add more fat and a bit more salt. And this juice is pretty concentrated, right? Because the legs were cured. It tasted good, it just didn't taste great yet. Was that fun to do, Scooter? Can your own apple pie filling? More magical juices. I mean, we could probably get away with adding them all. Sometimes it's better just commit. Just commit, 'cause I said it's better brothy anyways. Holy, yeah, that made it look so good. All right. We will hold on to our parsley though, because we'll put a little pinch of that over the lentils. Such a simple dish. I don't know, it hits like all the notes that I'm looking for when I have confit. Gentle. I saw the recipe I linked. It's like sticking onto the tongue, falling apart. They mixed into the lentils some creme fraiche afterwards. I've never had a creamy lentil. It might make it a bit like too rich. But if you do try that, let me know. Okay, we're going like really French, I said. Put the parsley everywhere. Because that's honestly, like, if you've ever been to France, that's how they garnish everything still. I will say lentils are really yummy with like an olive oil sort of garnish. And duck wouldn't be bad with that either. I think it will also look really good on the plate if we do that. Maybe a bit more. It's hard to see from down there. It all looks the same color. But look at how like red you can see the duck meat is. Greek, it's a winner. For a brunch? Yeah, actually. I wonder if you went to a bistro, I bet you this was on the lunch menu. It's a pretty easy one to execute for lunch, right? because you can have the lentils basically pre-made, just reheat them for service, and your ducks, well, you just sear them in the pan. One more bonk before you're like, let's eat. I wanted to just get these two together. Is this smudged? It was. I wonder how much confit plate would cost these days. I don't know, it's not something I would order out, right? Because we can just make it at home. I don't even want to go with the lentils. Like, this is just speaking to me right here. Holy. You guys, we just took the whole duck leg apart. Put the skin on top. I'm gonna go with this nubbin. Won't be as big of a piece for me to eat. That might be like one of the best things I've eaten in like months. What the heck? I really did a good cure. I will tell you, I don't often measure out the cure that I make for my ducks. I'll just kind of eyeball it with the salt and sugar ratios and like the herbs. And like, that's pretty risky to do, right? Because it can turn out salty when you do that. But holy smokes, I'm getting like garlic flavor like in the crispy duck skin. Insane. Put that on that piece. This piece on this side is always so dang good too. It gets kind of crispy. But that's how it should be. So if you ever make it for yourself, or if you ever have it at a restaurant, that's how your duck confit should be. It shouldn't be dry either, right? A lot of times people will try to rush cooking it and then the meat gets dry. And a lot of times, I'll just like do this. You can just take your fork. Especially I find with this lentil dish, basically just pick all of the meat off with your fork. There's nothing left on there. I'll probably make another broth from the bones. We'll see. Do this one too. And then you don't have to mess with any bones and you can just eat your duck with the lentils. Or yeah, like Greek said. So someone was saying the duck confit poutine earlier. That's what you would do, is you just pull that duck meat and you're good to go. Hi, my name's Kate. I like duck. I already had an orange today, but why is duck and orange so good together? That's what I'm like craving to eat after this. It's like something citrusy flavored to like cut through all the fat, I think. I think we did okay. Duck confit pot pie, okay. So now we'll finish off the meal with one more bite. Bonk said so. We died. Let me adjust these lights one more. There. Relic! Wait, you are. Oh no, you added 1-4. How are you doing? Welcome back. I recognize your name, don't worry. We're finishing up, guys. What time is it? 2:20? I told you it would still be a quick and easy Sunday. We always try and do 3 hours or less on our Sundays because, well, we all have lives outside of the internet. Just gonna go find someone for us to go raid today. Yeah, now everyone's hungry. Now you gotta go cook for yourself. Does my hood have different speeds? Yes, it does, Frank. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoy your week too. If you have a holiday tomorrow, instead of trying to be like productive, why don't you just rest instead? That's what they're for. We're always trying to do as much stuff as possible, but if you have the day off tomorrow, take it for yourself. We don't do that enough. That's my one tip for the week. Strawberry matcha cookies. What else? Vegan chocolate silk pie. We got food truck stream going. I don't know where we want to go raid today, friends. Does anyone have any recommendations? Excuse me, that was the Belter refuel for the chef, by the way. That's how you know it was good. Could I walk over to the hood, turn on different speeds with the stove off? The stove is off. The hood, it just has this like dial that you switch the different speeds. You guys want to go see Kitchen Witch, the chocolate pie? Okay. Sundays are the lazy days. Yeah, you guys have Sundays as your lazy day. I always take Monday for my lazy day. That's like my day that I try to not really do too much other than things that like bring me joy. The cracking is on now that the hood vent's on. Holy shit. We're figuring it out. So how, now what? Do I have to put a maintenance request form in? Kitchen Witch. That's what I'm typing, guys. That's where we're gonna go ahead. Because pie is life. Is the hood fan screwed up? So if some people listen with their headphones, Greek, it makes like a crazy crackling sound. But if you don't listen with headphones, you don't really notice it. Okay, it says the channel's intended for mature audiences. I mean, I don't put that on my stream, but we probably should half of the time. The hood fan is improperly shielded. Holy, I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down. I'll put the maintenance form in. We'll get it fixed. Okay, friends. Sorry that we weren't around yesterday, but that one was totally out of my control. Totally. But we still cooked some amazing stuff on Friday. We made surf and turf as like kind of a late Valentine sort of meal for myself. And yeah, today's meal, simple, delicious, very like traditional French cooking. All the recipes are in Discord if you want to make them for yourself during the week. And then I always upload our VODs onto YouTube as well if you want to rewatch them there. I would appreciate it. And we'll be back next Friday cooking it up again. And then after that week, Samo's home. Okay, I'm gonna hit that button, friends. Thank you for everything this weekend. All of the subs, gift subs, what, Bitly's, follows, all of the love. That's all I can say. Let's go spread the deliciousness and see how Kitchen Witch's pie is. I'm hitting this button. Bye!